so that I don't miss anything. So pardon me if I read a little bit. The nation which forgets its defenders will be itself forgotten. President Calvin Coolidge. There may be a few in this room that may remember when Veterans Day was called Armistice Day, commemorating the armistice that ended the First World War on the 11th hour, on the 11th day of the 11th month in 1918. The Great War ends. At 5 a.m. that morning, Germany, bereft of manpower and the supplies faced with the imminent invasion, signed an armistice agreement with the Allies in a railroad car outside Champagne, France. The First World War left 9 million soldiers dead, 21 million wounded, with Germany nearly 1 million more lives. In addition, at least 5 million civilians died from disease, starvation, and exposure. Armistice Day honored those who gave their lives in the war to end all wars. A day of hope that will not be given, that will not have their lives given in vain. But within a few years, and despite impressive effort on the part of the Western democracies to limit arms and to outlaw war, aggressors rearmed and war came again. Ironically, Armistice Day was made a legal holiday in the United States in 1938, just 1 year before a second and more terrible conflagration swept across Europe. Greetings, Americans and fellow soldiers. America makes a lot of things, but the standout, the strongest, most resilient, honorable, dedicated, committed, and true American product has had a significant effect on each and every one of our lives. It exists to protect you, me, and the American way of life. It is the American veteran. And today is their day. I'd like to pause for a moment of silence to honor all those who made the ultimate sacrifice defending our great nation. And while we reflect upon those lives, let us also pause to remember their families who also paid dearly, those that will forever carry the burden of the true cost of freedom. Today we honor every man and woman who has proudly worn the uniform of our armed forces and bravely defended America from the many evils of the world. Whether serving here at home or abroad, the elite group of individuals has ensured that you and I are able to live our daily lives free of tyranny and fear. Daily lives free of tyranny and fear. These relatively small group of individuals does not ask for anything from us in return. That's a good thing, because the fact is we can't never repay them for anything that they have done for us, but be here today to honor them. But ladies and gentlemen, today is a start. By you being here, it shows you acknowledge and appreciate the great sacrifices our military and men have made for our generations to ensure freedom endures. You have taken the time out of your busy lives to join with hundreds of thousands of patriotic Americans across the nation in paying tribute to America's most selfless citizens, those dedicated to something bigger than themselves. Our veterans cherish the values on which our nation was founded. They bravely answered the call to preserve them, and their sacrifice should make every American feel a deep sense of pride. And more are answering this call as we meet here today. There are people at the station signing up to join our armed forces. As I stand here before you, thousands, our best and our brightest, are currently deployed all over the world defending our freedom and that of our allies. We pray for their safe return, and we stand ready to support their families while they are away. Undoubtedly, we would not be standing here today without America's proud soldiers, sailors, Marines, airmen, and Coast Guardsmen, desired to liberate others from the dark grip of oppression, hopelessness, and fear. Their quest for freedom echoes through the battlefields of Europe, the beaches of Normandy, and on the islands of Iwo Jima and Okinawa, throughout the jungles of Vietnam, the deserts of the Middle East, and now through our mountains of terrain of Afghanistan. Our armed forces have a long-standing record of triumph over evil, and in each case, they have fought defending the same values upon which our great nation was founded. Our veterans, this group of extraordinary Americans, the less than 1% who commit to something the other 99% do not, deserve our lasting and gratitude and respect. Each and every American veteran has had a significant role in shaping America's past, our present, and undoubtedly our future. And again, we cannot repay them for many of the sacrifices. We must show our appreciation through whatever means possible. Before we depart today, let us focus our thoughts and thanks for those who are spending this sacred day away from their families and friends, those not on American soil, but in a foreign nation proudly displaying Old Glory on their right arm, may they return home safely. And may we always remember all of the freedoms that our veterans have secured for us. We are truly privileged to have such noble and extraordinary citizens. In the name of God and country, I learned to defy gravity. To honor my family, I lived in the belly of a beast. I fixed the hearts of iron monsters. I became a worm in the mud hole for dignity. For honor, for righteousness' sake, for God and country, I fought for you.